Valerie. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started like we usually do here. So we're going to find all that length through our spine, stacking those vertebrae, feeling the space in between. And we're going to chin tuck back for 10. Let's get ready and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's take a moment to reset our spine. Pull that length back up again. Now we're going to do our head turns from side to side for 10. Let's get ready and begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, going into our warm up. We've got 4 moves, 30 seconds each. Our first one is going to be our hamstring and chop. So from that seated position, we will kick the heel out, arms are up overhead. We will chop down, bring that foot in, and then the other side from our standing position. I'll give you a little side view here. We're going to kick that heel out, chop down, feel that stretch through the back of the leg here, alternating each time we sway down here, okay? After that, we will go into that embrace and release we worked on last week here. So think of spinal flexion and extension here. A little bit of a wider stance, okay? The embrace portion is we embrace, we hug ourselves, we round down, feeling that rounding through our spine, and then we release and give it up to the sky, okay? That's going to look the same seated. The third one is a lateral flexion here. So we're going to do our palm press, hands on head and side, and then bend back to center, and then the same thing other side. After that, we are doing our bow and arrow row here, getting into that thoracic rotation. So let's get started. Hamstring chop first, 30 seconds, seated or standing in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So we're going to kick that foot forward, swing it down here. Feel that nice hinge through the hips. Remember, always work at your own rhythm. The quality of your movement is much more important than how quickly you can, or how many reps you can get in. And that always develops the better the quality of our work gets. 2 and 1. Okay, moving on to that embrace and release. Okay, wider stance, whether you're seated or standing here. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go ahead, hug ourselves, round down, and then bring it back up, release it up to the sky. Think of a different variety of our cat-cow here, okay? 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, moving on to that lateral flexion now. Let's get ready to press our palms out. And here we go. We're going to press the palms out, hands behind the head and the back, and then we lean. Feel that lateral flexion. Same thing, other side. Getting our spine prepped for the work to come here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next one is that rotation, bow and arrow row. So our knuckles are facing up towards the sky here. Arms out shoulder height. Here we go. We're going to pull that elbow back. Follow it with our eyes. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, we have one more round through of our warm-up, and then we are moving into our first block, which will be cardio. But for now, back to that hamstring and chop. Ready? And begin. Get forward. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and time. All right, going into our embrace and release. Wider stance here. About right, shoulder width apart or a little bit right outside of. Here we go. We're going to embrace ourselves, hug ourselves here around. Feel that stretch through the lumbar spine, and then release. Feel that extension through the thoracic. Five more seconds here. 2, and 1. Okay. Moving back to that lateral flexion here, palm press and side bend. Ready? And begin. Press, bend. Halfway through this one. Two, and time. All right, guys. The final one is that bow and arrow row. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, keep it going. We're halfway through it right now. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, warm up, check. So this next block is cardio, okay? 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds in between. They're all body weight movements, and we're doing it in our ABCD pattern, okay? So the first one, nothing new here. We've got our sumo stance, wider than shoulder width with our heels. Toes are out. This is gonna look or you know what? I'll tell you what the seated one looks like. We're going to sumo squat with that jumping jack arm. So as we drive up, our arms come up. As we lower down, our arms lower down, okay? All right, our second one for our seated variation, we're gonna tap it out here. Tap, tap, okay? For our second one, we have a lateral push with a pivot. Okay, so pressing with that palm, and twisting and pivoting. Okay, if we're seated, you're going to tap, 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 okay? So you're pressing and tapping out on the same side, but your press is opposite of your tap. Okay. After that, wide leg, total body extension. If you're seated, we're going to hinge and bring it up. Think of your arms as swings on a swing set, okay? You're standing, wider stance here, right here. And if you can intensify it, come up onto your toes. If that's too much, that's okay. Stay flat on your feet, okay? And then our last one, chair taps and row. All right, if you're seated, we're doing a knee raise and row. Okay, guys, ABCD, starting with our sumo squat with those jumping jack arms. Let's get ready. 30 seconds of work in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, guys. Take it down. Think of spreading your toes, pressing through your heels as you're coming back up to a standing position. The more we can grip our feet to the floor and plant them in, the more glute activation we get. Remember, go at your pace. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Second exercise, we've got that pivot and press. Okay, so it's a palm press here with a pivot. Here we go. Feel that thoracic rotation. Exhale as you press that palm. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we are back to our first exercise, sumo squat with that jumping jack arm. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Remember, find your rhythm, right? Find your beat. Your rhythm may look different than mine, that's fine. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to that second exercise, palm press and pivot. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Think of pushing something heavy away with your palm as you're doing this. You can create more intensity just by imagining that you're pushing something heavy away here. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and time. Good. On to the next 2. We've got a wider stance here. Let's say shoulder width apart, not quite as wide as our sumos. Okay, we're going into that total body extension. If you can, bring it up to your toes. And if that's too much, just stay flat on your heels, or you can do it seated. So then hips push back, and then you drive the hips forward. Back and forward, back, forward. 3, 2, and time. They're sneaky right there. Last one, chair tap and row. Ready? And begin. Seconds here. 2, and 1. All right, going back to that total body extension. Wider stance here, about the width of your shoulders. Ready? And begin. Halfway. Remember, you can always stop a little early if you need to. Start a little late. 5 more seconds here. 2, and 1. Okay, back to those chair taps and row. In 3, 2, and 1. Keep on going, guys. My phone is not holding its charge, so it keeps on dipping off me. If you see me stop exercising and tap my phone, it's just because the light keeps on going on. Less than 10 seconds, then we're gonna put all 4 exercises together. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to the very top sumo squat with those jumping jack arms in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Remember those knees push out in the direction the toes are. Halfway. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Lateral tap with that palm press. 3, 2, and 1. Feel that stretch around your rib cage with this rotation. Think about how not only are we working on our heart health, body mechanics, but also our spinal health. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Wide leg, wide stance, about shoulder width apart, total body extension with the option to come on your toes. Here we go. Side here. Less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Final exercise, and we're going to move it on. Chair tap with that row. 3, 2, and 1. Ten more seconds. 2, and 1. Woo. Okay, guys. Take a breather there. You should feel your heart rate elevated slightly here, and your body should feel nice and warm. Our next circuit is a Tabata circuit for our upper body. Just 2 exercises, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of transition time for 4 rounds. We are doing dumbbell lateral raises for our shoulders. Okay, and then our second move is a bicep curl. Okay, this is an upper body set here. When we're doing our curls, keep those elbows pinned to the rib cage. All right. Think of your elbows as leading this movement up versus your hands. Okay, because this is the part that's actually working. So we want to think closer to the source is what's lifting the weight up. Okay. All right, guys. 20 seconds. This looks the same seated. Okay, so either or is fine here. Let's get ready with those lateral raises in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Give your pelvis a nice little pelvic tuck. Feel a nice stable base of support through your trunk by doing that. And then we're working the top of the shoulders here. That's what we're focused on. 3, 2, and 1. All right, reset. Going into bicep curls. Keep those elbows glued to the rib cage. Ready? And begin. Maintaining that pelvic tuck if you're standing. 3, 2, and 1. All right, there's round 1 of 4. Going back to our lateral raise in 3, 2, and 1. Find that pelvic tuck. 3, 2, 1. All right. Getting ready for bicep curls. And 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 2 sets down, 2 sets to go. Back to that lateral raise. And 3, 2, and 1. Back on it. Make that mind muscle connection, talking to the tops of the shoulders, keeping that core braced, pelvic tuck. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, setting back up for bicep curls. And in 3, 2, 1, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, moving on to our last set of each. Get ready for those lateral raises. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, bicep curls, and we're moving on. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice work, guys. Little upper body blast there. Moving right along, we're going into a 45-15 for 9 minutes. We've got 3 exercises that we'll do for 3 rounds. Okay. Our first one here is a lateral lunge. So you can either do these body weight, okay, body weight first, right? So step it out, hip goes back, back to center, same thing, other side. Just remember when we're going back, hip back, right? Versus knee forward, right? You don't want to feel like the weight, you're jumping in front of the weight. You want to feel like the weight is behind you, okay? If you can advance that, we can take 1 dumbbell, okay? Step, together, switch hands, step, together, switch hands, okay? Just an advanced option there, okay? And if we're seated for this one, we're going to do a lateral up and over, okay? So it's like you're stepping over a dumbbell here as you move out laterally, okay? And then we're doing a sit squat to press. So either 2 weights or just 1. Okay, I'll show you the hardest way first. Our sit squat, we're going to drive it up, overhead press. Okay, this is our hardest variation right here with 2 weights. Okay, our next one would be 1 weight, holding it long ways. Okay, and you can either press straight up overhead, or you can press at a 45-degree, which is sometimes easier on our shoulders if we have shoulder issues, okay? If you're seated, same options with the arms, and you're doing leg extension, press, okay? Any of those 3 presses. All right, and the final exercise is our hinge and row. Nothing new here, right? Hinge, row, finish the hinge, okay? All right, and that looks the same seated as well. Okay. Starting with our lateral lunge, option to use a weight. You can keep a body weight or do those abductions with that step over. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. We're back on. So I'm sinking that hip back. The weight is behind me. Back to center, switch my hand. All right, so we never want our weight to feel like it's in front of us, like it's going to tip us forward. We want to feel like the weight is balancing us by sinking back. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Moving on to a sit squat to press. Okay, either 2 weights, 1 weight, or you can do a 45-degree press. Ready? And begin. Stand it up, press it up, and back down. Try to really have a nice firm grip on the floor with your toes, driving through those heels. "15 seconds here. 3, 2, and time. All right. Moving on to our hinge and row now. Let's remember, we want to roll the shoulders back and down. Keep them there. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Gonna hinge, keeping those dumbbells close to the body. Low row it at the bottom end, and then drive those hips back forward. That's halfway. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right, there is 1 round. Back to the top here, that lateral lunge. Body weight or with 1 weight or seated. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Hip back, center and switch, hip back, center and switch. All right, we're working side glutes here, working a lot of balance muscles. Getting a little extra mobility through our hips with that extended leg. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Sit, squat, and press. So now we're getting our quadriceps, the front of our thigh, our shoulders, and our glutes with these. Okay. Ready? And begin. Drive it up, press it up, down, and down. Halfway. This one's a toughie. You could always modify if you're using 2 dumbbells to start and you switch to 1. You could do that. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Okay. Hinge and row. Now we're getting the back side of the body. We're getting those lats right here, hamstrings, And still the glutes. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Roll those shoulders back and down, hinge. So all 3 of these exercises train the glutes. And then 2 of them train the shoulders and back and the upper body. And 2 of them train the front of the leg and then the other, the back of the leg. This one being the back of the leg right here. Did it make sense? Did that make sense? I don't know, guys. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Round 2. We've got one more round to go through. Back to that lateral lunge. And in 3, 2, and 1. Step it over, hip goes back. Right? If you feel like your body wants to pull you forward, try to reevaluate. Because you should feel nice and stable, right? As we're in this bent over position. Ten more seconds here. Get into those side glutes. 3, 2, and time. Okay. Final round. Sit squat with that overhead press. This one's a tough one, but this is it. We're almost done it. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Drive it up, press it up, down, down. Halfway right here. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and time. Okay. One more exercise, and then we're moving on. Hinge and row. Getting those back muscles, hamstrings, and glutes. Let's roll those shoulders back and down and begin. We push those hips back, low row, drive those hips forward. Yes, halfway. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and time. All right, guys, nice work. We have one more Tabata to go through, and it is our abs, okay, Tabata abs here. Just like our upper body Tabata 2 exercises alternating for 4 rounds. The first one here is going to be abduction in out taps, okay? So I am hollowed out. I'll show this from the profile too. We want to think of scooping, C curving here, holding on to our seat, okay? And we're going to pop them out and in. Out, no knee tuck in this one today, okay? Out and in. If this is really challenging to do one at a time. One at a time. Here's the important thing, guys. Right here on that profile view. Do you see what I'm doing right here? This rounding, right? We want that little bit of that fall back. We're really engaging our core here. Okay, so there's from the side. And then our second one is going to be our alternating knee tucks. Okay, so from the front here, we're just leaning it back and knee to chest, knee to chest. So both my knee and my chest come together to meet one another. They don't have to touch, but both your knees and your chest are kind of meeting in the middle. Okay, so 4 minutes of work here. We're gonna start with those abduction in out taps. Let's get ready. I think I'm gonna do it from the side profile here in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Finding that scoop. And tap them out and tap them in. Keep that belly button pulled back to the spine. It's a lot to think about, but it's only for 20 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, moving on to the alternating knee tuck. And I'll do this one from the side, and then I'll go from the front to show you from that view. Ready? Begin. So both my knee and my chest are moving in towards one another. Don't worry about the position of your feet, just worry about the core here. 2 and 1. Okay, moving back to those abduction taps here. All right, I'll show from this view here. Let's see, curve it out. 3, 2, 1. Hold on to the sides or back. They're just little taps. 4, and you'll probably feel those hip flexors working pretty hard too. 5 more seconds. We got this. 2 and 1. Woo. Boy, that's a toughie, huh? Remember, you can always go to an alternating one as well if it gets too challenging. All right, knee tucks, ready? Begin. Knee to chest. Three, 2, and 1. All right. Halfway through it, it's feeling pretty spicy too. Back to those abduction taps in 3, 2, and 1. Five seconds. We got it. 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, guys. Woo! Not done yet. Going back to those knee tucks. These are kind of a welcome relief in comparison. Okay, here we go. Three, 2, and 1. All right, guys, we've got just one more round here, and then we will cool down. Back to those abduction taps. Final set. 3, 2, and 1. Let's see, curve it out here. Trying to keep that belly button pulled back. 10 seconds. Do anything in 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, one more round of those knee tucks. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Knee to chest, knee to chest. Three, 2, and time. All right, guys. Woo, we did it. Go ahead and take a drink here, and we will start cool down in just a second. Let's start from the bottom up today. I'll stay seated here. Flex and point your foot, your ankle, your toe for 5, and then do your circles 5 each direction. Good, same thing, other foot when you're ready. Okay, continuing up the leg, let's go back to that first leg. We're going to figure four. Okay, crossing one leg over, foot is flexed. Find all of that length through your spine, and it's a very small movement forward. So we tilt forward with that length for our spine, like we should feel this side glute here. Try to think of all that length through your spine too, like you're really reaching the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Good, and then go ahead and sit back again, but keep that leg where it's at. We're going to go ahead and rotate and look in the direction of that back shoulder and hold. All right. Same thing, other side. Okay, so we're gonna start with that flexed foot in that figure four position. Find all of that length through your spine and then gently hinge it forward. It's only about an inch or two, if that, okay? And maintain that crown pointing up towards the ceiling. Feel that side glute. Let's go ahead and sit it back upright and take our turn and look in the direction of that back shoulder. Get back to center. Let's go ahead and take one hand and bring it up and over, reaching up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet, okay? So really trying to go up and over versus just kind of seeing how far you can bend this way, right? That's not what we want. We want all the length we can find. Should feel it straight down to your hip bone all the way up here. Good. Same thing, other side. All right, let's go ahead and take our palms, put them on the small of our back, okay? Pull your elbows together like you're trying to get them to touch one another, okay? And think of heart to ceiling, okay? You can put your head wherever it feels comfortable. If you can bring it up, you can. If it doesn't feel comfortable, you can keep it forward. It'll stretch through the front part of the body, your forearms, and through your spine. Good. Relax. One more here. Let's do a couple of wrist rolls after that one there. 5 one direction, and then 5 the other direction. And then a couple of hand opening closers there. Or 5 of them. All right, guys, let's go ahead and finish off with a nice big inhale up. Exhale, palms together, down to heart. One more time. And exhale, palms to heart. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's workout. I'm here if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer. Thank you.